The oldest known survivor of the Nazi Holocaust, Alice Herz-Sommer, has died in London at the age of 110.
She was originally from Prague and spent 2 years in a Nazi concentration camp in what is now the Czech Republic. Esild Carr looks back at her life.
Alice Herz-Sommer was a talented pianist when she and her son were sent from their home in Prague to Theresienstadt concentration camp in 1943. And it was music that she said saved her life, in a place where tens of thousands of people met their deaths. As a pianist in the camp, she would perform concerts and said the joy of making music had helped keep her and others' spirits up.
I knew that we will play. And I was thinking, when we can play, it can't be so terrible.
Alice Herz-Sommer and her son were freed from the camp in 1945, but despite losing her mother and husband in the Holocaust, she famously said she bore no grudges and saw her life as a wonderful gift, continuing to play the works of Schubert and Beethoven until her final days. A documentary film about her called The Lady in Number 6 has been nominated for an award at the forthcoming Oscars, a celebration of a remarkable life described by her family as an inspiration.
Music is in the first place of art. It brings us on an island with peace, beauty and love.
Alice Herz-Sommer, who is the oldest known survivor of the Holocaust, who's died in London at the age of 110. Well, we're going to discuss her life now with the filmmaker Christopher Newpon, who was a close friend of Alice and made 2 award-winning films about her life. Thanks very much for being with us. Inspirational figure, obviously, and music so important to her life, wasn't it? I mean, she said, "I'm Jewish, but Beethoven is my religion."
Well, yes. She said many times that she had survived to 110 for 2 things. Because she was an optimist, whereas her twin sister was a pessimist, and so, of course, she died with 74. Because if you're a pessimist, the whole organism is in attention all the time. And because of music. She said music is the most beautiful thing coming from mankind. The life of a musician is a privilege, because from the morning to the evening and the evening to the morning, you are concerned with the most beautiful thing coming out of mankind.
And do you see those 2 things as interrelated in her? Because
Absolutely.
as you say, an optimist, someone who bore no grudges, I mean, an amazing lesson for many people to learn about the way she came through such an awful experience.
She had so many distinguishing characteristics. Her wisdom, her depth of perception, her kindness, her intelligence. But the most dramatic of all was this woman who saw her mother taken away with a rucksack on her back at the age of 76 to a concentration camp where they killed her, and saw her husband taken away in a train to another concentration camp where they killed him. She had no hatred at all. She said, if you hate, you poison your own soul. Now, we think we all know that, but she lived it. It is a most astonishing creature, one of the most impressive and lovable creatures the world has ever seen. It sounds crazy to use superlatives, but she was superlative. She really was.
And an inspiration for so many.
Hundreds of thousands. She wrote a book when she was 104. 2 people wrote it for her. And she made these 2 films, one at 98, the other at 106. And they've been all over the world. And they touch people because the prizes all were for Gigi. That's what she was called. Her name was Alice Sommer, but she was called Gigi from when she was 5.
Right.
Nobody knows why, but she loved the name, and it fitted her. Everybody loved her, partly because Gigi is a nice, lovable thing to have. It's just one of those things where everything combined to produce a happy result.
She'll touch a lot of people, even more so with her passing. Thank you very much
for
coming in and talking to us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
In Gigi's name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Gigi.
you.